Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And we have another breaking update or breaking news out of T Mobile that I just got word of that this was not a part of the original documents that I had seen. This is completely new. I don't know if this was another move out of left field. Maybe T Mobile saw additional churn that went up over the last 24, 48 hours. I don't know. But what we have now, so first we got the announcement, right, of the loyalty plan, right? Existing customers that probably have some tenure, if they want to leave for a cheaper option, go to someone else, whatever the case, the care rep, the T-Mobile care rep is now able to offer a new loyalty plan. It's a bit cheaper, but it does come with taxes and fees not included. Now, I have been told, and this has been confirmed. I got screenshots. Now I'm told care reps are authorized to give monthly credits as well. So I've been told, right, the situation, right, it really sounds like T-Mobile is desperate at this point because of all the moves that they're making, the changes, and it's happening in a short period of time, right? I've even acknowledged T-Mobile is desperate in a way, right? But this could just be T-Mobile competing, trying to retain and save their customers. But it is still alarming at the same time because they're bleeding so many customers. Remember this. T-Mobile is all about growth. That is what their stock is based upon. So when they don't hit estimates, even by just a little bit, you saw it transpire in the first quarter, the stock dropped, right? I have to point that out because this all correlates with each other. So this is what I'm hearing, right? If you contact Care, the first option they have is to offer this loyalty plan, right? And apparently the credits can be offered to any plan. There are some, I'm sure there are some account stipulations, like if you've been with T-Mobile for only 6 months, those accounts probably won't get the offer. But if you have some tenure at T-Mobile, the care reps are authorized now to give you account credits beyond just like a one-time credit. It can be a 6 months, it can be up to 6 months, it can be up to 12 months, and they can do it on a monthly basis, right? It's not a per line credit, but what I've heard is if there's pushback, right? If there's initial if the customer reaches out, the initial interaction is about maybe wanting to leave, maybe trying to figure out how to leave, or they need a certain account number. The rep is then told and trained to offer this loyalty plan, right? If the customer continues to insist on leaving, saying they found the same amount of value they have now for less with another carrier, whatever the case, then the rep is able to give credits. I heard, this is just what I'm hearing, it can be as high as $20 per month for up to 6 months. And then I've also heard some say that it can be a $10 credit per month for up to 12 months to try and retain customers. T-Mobile has always been great at giving credits, but only in certain cases. And for the most part, it was a one-time credit. Like, if the customer called in about service issues, they're a little unsatisfied, right? Then here's a $50 credit, right? Just as an example. But they've never been able to have a special retention offer where they can just pull this out of a hat. Boom, $10 for the next year off if you continue to stay with us. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but put it into perspective, $10 over 12 months, that's around $120 that you put in back in your pocket, right? So just think of it like that, right? $20 over 6 months. That is now a legitimate option for T-Mobile. So that tells me there's a lot of people that are leaving, right? T-Mobile has never acted directly in this way, and they've really never had to because they weren't going to cut you any, they weren't going to make your plan any cheaper, right? If you had 6, 7, 8 free lines, T-Mobile wasn't going to give out credits, right? They just weren't going to scoop that low. But now it's different. The environment is different. The competition is different. Everybody now is trying to pull from the switching pool, right? Verizon at first, you know, they were like, we're a premium carrier, we're fine. But now even they are trying to get some volume into the doors, right? We all know AT&T, they're growing. They have been growing, and they have the lowest churn, right? So AT&T is not contributing as much to the switching pool as some of the other carriers, right? So now it's not as easy for T-Mobile to grow as it once was, right? You have Charter that did 500,000 lines for the first quarter. Comcast is growing. MVNO prepaid players are growing. I think Mobile X, I just saw recently, Peter Adderton announced they added like 30,000 lines for a startup, right? So it's not as it once was. You have to take that into the consideration. It's not as easy as it once was. So now this is an additional option, right? This is, like I said, the loyalty plan. You guys already saw that video. That's technically a new unlimited plan that can now be offered to certain customers, right? Then the Motorola. We had the Apple one already, right? The Apple one, for those of you who saw that video. Now you can get an Apple with no trade-in, right? You have to be on the highest plan, but no trade-in is a big deal, right? Now you got a Motorola that you can pretty much get any phone, pretty much that you can turn in any phone, broke in, as long as they can pull the IMEI, and you can get that Motorola on any plan, right? So you can see T-Mobile is they're flexible, and probably the next step, right, is any phone, any condition on any plan. That's something that T-Mobile would have to play around with because of the competition. It's fierce, it's saturated, it's tough. It's not as easy as it once was. So the new option that T-Mobile reps now have, they can issue account credits, I am told, for up to 12 months. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. Let me know if you've been offered these account credits. Let us know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. See y'all in the next one. Peace.